Hey everybody, welcome back to the School of Rock Back to School Miniseries. This is the third and final installment of a series that covers 3 beginner-level rock riffs that are seen in a pivotal moment in the movie The School of Rock. In the movie, Mr. Schneebly asks Zack if he's ever played an electric guitar before. And Zack said no, his dad wouldn't let him play an electric guitar because it's a waste of time. But deep down, Zack knew that an electric guitar was best for him. To make sure you're not wasting any time and that you're playing the guitar that's best for you, go ahead and take the free guitar type quiz by clicking the link in the description or by going to zacksharguitar.com. It just takes a minute and it'll give you personalized results based on your unique preferences. A free PDF guide that will take you to mastering your guitar goals is also available in the description and at zacksharguitar.com. In lesson 3, we're going to be covering Highway to Heck by AC/DC. This happens to be the last riff that Mr. Schneebly shows Zack in that scene in the movie. But of the 3 riffs in this miniseries, this is the one that will probably give beginners the biggest challenge. So if you have not already, I strongly recommend you go ahead and watch episodes 1 and 2, where we learn Iron Man and Smoke on the Water, before jumping into Highway to Heck by AC/DC. Just so you know, this interpretation of Highway to Heck is not necessarily how AC/DC actually plays the riff, but it is how Zack plays it in the movie, and it's how this Zack is going to show you how to play it. Let's get rockin'! So first we're going to establish the 3 different chords that are used in this riff. First is an open A power chord. To perform that chord, I can show you 2 different ways to play it. First, you can play the open A string and then bar the 2nd fret of the D and G strings with your index finger. The other way is to play the 2nd fret of the D string with your index finger and then play the 2nd fret of the G string with your middle finger. Next we have the D chord, and to play the D chord, you first play the open D string. Next you put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Then you put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then you put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E string. And then you get this when you put it all together. Alright, 2/3 of the way there, we're on our last chord, which is a G chord. And to play the G chord, first you put your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E string. Put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. You don't have to put any fingers on the D and the G strings because those are played as open strings. And then finally, just put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So, like pretty much every other riff and everything when it comes to guitar, you can play this multiple ways. The 2 main ways you can play this riff are 1, all downstrokes, or 2, you can alternate between downstrokes and upstrokes, which is how I will be showing you in this lesson. And we're going to start with an upstroke due to the timing of this riff and when it comes in during the song. To get a feel for this, you can ghost strum, or you can kind of scratch your pick across the strings like so. For 5 eighth notes, 5 up and down eighth notes, before strumming the A5 chord 3 times for 3 eighth notes. So with the ghost notes before it, it will look like this. So after that A5 chord is strummed 3 times, we're going to jump down to the D chord. And so we're going to use 2 eighth notes and start with an upstroke to play that D chord. And it'll look like this. From here, we will immediately follow up with the G chord for another eighth note on an upstroke. Like that. So far we have... And so the last sequence, starting with the D chord, is going to be identical in the next measure. This is kind of one of the trickier parts in this riff, and I want to note that you can make it easier for yourself to switch between the D and the G chord by keeping your ring finger on the 3rd fret of that B string, because that position remains the same in both chords. If this kind of thing is really challenging for you, I've got a video that goes over different levels of chord transitions, and it'll make this a lot easier for you throughout your playing. So feel free to check that out. So measure 4 starts with an 8th note rest, and a rest is a beat that is not played, it's just silent. And what follows that is the same D, D, G sequence that we've been playing a little bit prior to this. Again, you'll notice how that sequence starts on an upstroke. Pause for one more 8th note rest before playing another D chord using an upstroke. Starting on the 4th measure, you'll have this. And then you'll follow that with one more 8th note rest. And then finally, you'll finish off the riff by playing 2 8th note open A power chords, starting with an upstroke. So now try to play along with me if you can. I'm going to make a point for you to hear the ghost notes so that you get a hang of the rhythm and the feel of this riff. All right, so here we go. So now you've got another awesome iconic riff under your belt. And if you've seen every other video in this series, you'll have 3 awesome riffs you can go out and show your friends and family. Make sure you lock in that tight rhythm and that the notes you're playing that make up the chords are accurate. You may need to work more on the rhythm and the chords separately before bringing them together into this riff. Once you've got the hang of this riff and all the other riffs in this mini-series, you'll be on your way to playing like Zack Attack in no time. And to really take your playing up to Zack Attack's level, don't forget to download that free practice guide. It'll help you crush your guitar goals. And to make sure you're shredding the gnar on the right guitar, don't waste any more time. Go ahead and take that free quiz. It'll just take you a minute and you'll get your personalized results based on your unique preferences. Have fun with this riff and let me know if you have any questions. Have a great school year to those of you who are in school, and just have a great regular year to those of you who are even if you're not in school, have a great year. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. My name is Zach with Zack Shar Guitar, and I will see you in the next one.